And we begin today's programmes on BBC One with the Do-It-Yourself Film Animation Show.
And now, let's get drawing in the Do-It-Yourself Film Animation Show. Starring your old friend Hiram HB, Erasmus Eraser, and Freddie F8. Thrill as they chase the elusive muse, Irene Inspiration. Will they ever catch her? Will you ever catch her? Watch this episode and learn something to your advantage. This is a sequence from Steamboat Willie, Disney's first sound movie, made in 1928. Disney, of course, realized the tremendous difference sound of any kind makes to a film. And in animation, you can make sounds in all kinds of ways. Now, most of the short film examples you've been watching in these programs have been made by art students, and they've been made to illustrate specific visual points. Therefore, they've been made without sound or mute. Now, have a look at this one made by a student from St. Martin's School of Art. We've just added a few bird noises. One man who uses any and every way to make sounds for films is Geeson, musician extraordinaire and one-man band. Now, he's written orthodox music for films like Sunday Bloody Sunday and unorthodox music for just about everything else.
Well, you can make use of all kinds of sound to suit different types of film, and you can transform the same film by using different kinds of sound. Nice, pretty, unsuspecting, flowing 17th century music for Miss Muffet. Flowing on. Ominous drum roll announcing entry of Spider with Richard Strauss. Edgy bit of Berlioz with Miss Muffet taking fright and running away. This bit is heavily edited.
Well, that's one way of using music. Now, if you're animating patterns or matchsticks or scissors or cactus or anything, you must be very careful how you choose your music. You have to choose your music to suit the subject that you're animating. And if I were you, I'd choose something with a good, steady, regular beat, as Gordon Rowley has done here.
But don't be afraid to experiment with unusual combinations. Another kind of sound commonly used is commentary. Now, sometimes with commentary, you can do very little animation and hold the tension with amazing, riveting sound.
Try not to think of narrative or commentary as a boring, dull, uninteresting way out. A good, exciting narrative makes a lot of animated films. Now, in our Rhubarb series, Richard Briers does a voiceover, but he also does all the character voices.
One sparkly day, in the middle of a cold spell, Rhubarb went out into the garden and noticed right away that his mouth was on fire. Rhubarb thought of nothing except the fact that he was the luckiest dog he knew, and that if the door had accidentally splonked closed, he'd be smoking all over by now. Much later on, with all his courage piled up inside his ears, Rhubarb peeped his nose out. "Puff!" uttered Rhubarb. "Puff!" spluttered he, as he huffed and puffed great big lungfuls of smoky blue out into the frosty morning. "It must be that coal I ate yesterday." Quite pleased now with his smoking mouth, Rhubarb ran down to the pond. Then, stopping in his tracks, he almost fell over with amazement at the sight before his very eyes. "First my smoking mouth, and now this," muttered Rhubarb. "Well, I never! A duck with legs and feet," he said, with a nip in the air. "What a delightful duck," mused Rhubarb, "and what pretty legs." And he dived his nose towards the water and crashed it into the ice with a thud that could be heard all over the garden. As angry as an alligator, Rhubarb demanded to know who had double-glazed the pond in the night.
Or you can give the story a bit of a twist, as this Bristol University student did. Now, she managed to save herself an awful lot of animation work by just using a few sound effects and using her narrative cleverly.
Mary had a little lamb. Her father shot it dead. And now it goes to school with her between two lumps of bread.
Or you may want your characters to talk to each other or direct to the audience. This is called lip sync because the lips move synchronously, or they synchronize with the sound.
If you're animating cutouts, you can get away with quite a random movement because that's all part of the cutout convention. Just see what Terry Gilliam does with this load of old Jimmy Young photographs.
The fire brigade there by the move. And we move inexorably in the direction of the 10:30 news. Inexorably, that's a very good word, isn't it? That's the searchers and second-hand dealer, and a very good record it is, too. Sean Kelly, of course, has got a very good record as a newsreader. Over to you, Sean. Here's the 10th. Val Dunican with If the Whole World Stopped Loving. I just hope the whole world doesn't stop telephoning.
Or you can use the same face and just put different cutout mouths on, you see, as I'm doing here. Now, depending on the mood of my character, if he's sad, I put the mouth down that way. If he's happy, I put it up that way. There's one mouth doing two jobs there. And I take that off and I replace it with another mouth like this. And there you have a very rudimentary form of lip sync. Now, if you're doing peg bar animation, you can do a more sophisticated movement. You can make the head and body move about while you're talking. And I'm now going to go through the basic movements that the human mouth goes through